Gentlemen, welcome today to MOC Talks, and today we will discuss about why many cooperative people does not actually really understand the value, and that's why the efficiency of a company reduces to a minimum. First of all, it has to do with the amount of people that are working in the organization. The more the amount of the people that are working in the organization, the more distraction we have through the departments. Because, first of all, this happens because, yes, the distraction comes from the mind itself. So, new improvisations are, let's say, appear, and these questions not always fit to the specific roles and specific responsibilities. Okay, first of all, from our side we have to be clear of what thing we are discussing, so without affecting the integrity of the roles that are doing that specific task. Because when we overload a specific role and function already with external additional information, that makes life much more difficult for the person that are involved in, let's say, operations, in specific tasks. And we have to understand the framework and the speciality of specific role in order to make these corrections very carefully. So we don't need to introduce them as a requirement, but as a best practice through the process. Because this is the thing that really increase and motivates the people that are involved in. Mostly it is the interest for what they are doing. It is really simple. And this is the way how you are able to build connections, you are able to motivate the people that are working together with you with one organization in order to lift up their skills, lift up their motivation, and bring them to another level. So, as you can see, I have a board here with me today where we can, let's say, do some things, exercise some things, make some drawings and all that stuff. And also, yes, I have a lot of things to share because this is the things that I have to identify while working on, let's say, the marine terminal environment. Yes, it is clear there should be some regulations, and regulations and rules are based off previous experience, previous accidents and incidents, and this is part of the best practices that we have learned through the time. Are we able, let's say, to learn them all? Not, but we are able to create a learning mindset through the entire, let's say, life of a individual or of a role, that yes, we have this, let's say, role, this is the knowledge that is required, but you should build a mind which is continuously learning new things, and also a mind which is also address the things of why we are doing this and this specific, let's say, way. Okay, so when you learn yourself to ask why, the why, it's really important. Always, whatever you're doing, let's say you're placing a gangway, or you connect the loading arm, or you drain the loading arm, or you, let's say, taking some part for the maintenance, or you are doing, let's say, some firefighting exercise on the side. Always ask yourself why we're doing this, and what would happen if we will do it in another different way. So this not only shifts the capability of building things in your mind, but also it is building different scenarios directly of what if this happened, how it will later affect the entire chain um, of things, yes, that are related with that specific task. Let's say, for example, if we are mooring a vessel and we are standing on the snapback zone exactly, you can already run the scenarios what can happen if the event the wire will broke or the mooring equipment will broke. So you can, the brake will broke. So you can run different scenarios without these things happen. And then you realize, yes, I have to be for this and these reasons outside the snapback zone. Okay. And also with this knowledge, yes, you will start to look a little bit more information. What is that snapback zones? How it affect? How the different mooring equipment affect, let's say, the potential damage to the person. And then you look forward, step by step, and then you find really how the things are behaving. So this is an improvement stage. And this is for sure, it is not something that it pays you directly. First of all, let's say, yes, money-wise, it will not pay you directly, but life-wise, it will save your life directly from the first time that you are involved. So basically, we have the knowledge, we can set it here. Let's say that we have the knowledge that are improve our life, quality of life, the knowledge that are able to build opportunities, okay? And with all that together, with all these two things, we are building progress, okay? Progress. Because without these two things being preserved, the life and creating opportunities, realizing things, we are not able to progress. Because yes, some of them will lose the life before they're able to create the opportunities. So yes, that is why it's so much important. And yes, I have seen that corrections is necessary. It's necessary to select also specific time frame when you will discuss these things, let's say with the facility, because the facility itself, it is really overloaded. It is really overloaded because of things such as, let's say, doing operational things, and yes, they are continuous running and running and running, because also they have to deliver their watch, the people that are working in watch. So basically, they need specific time frame. They need specific time frame when you will apply all that exercises. So everything should be programmed, because if you will not program specifically, yes, they will overload, they will be stressed. And I know that people in this age, let's say after 35, 30, 40, are not willing to learn outside the comfort zone. So you have to create for them a comfort zone, a specific time frame where they will allocate that educational purpose for learning new things. It is upskilling. So yes, guys, okay, we will have this session. We will have, let's say, the session for the crude oil washing, for the terminal, what is necessary to know. We will board the vessel, we will see the things, how they're functioning, we will discuss some things, and then you will increase your scope of operation. Basically, you will be better know what to do. And this is why it's so much important to raise the questions of why. Because when we will be, let's say, on board, or when we will do the course, the crude oil washing course, you will ask some questions of why. That's why I have created the Telegram channel when you can join if you are purchasing, let's say, the crude oil washing course, and then you can raise the questions of why. I have seen this, okay, why this is this way. Because I have seen that also working, let's say, for one of the oil majors, there is lack of training and education for newcomers, new people. And what is really tricky about that, it is the belief from the management and from, let's say, yes, we can say the management, the CEOs, the departments, and all the things, that everything is kept in the same standard. No, it's not. It's not keeping the same standard because simply in order to keep the same level of standards and the same level of knowledge, the knowledge should be continuously introduced. Does this happen now, in the nowadays? No, it does not happen because first of all, you have lack of motivation, you have lack of personnel or also that is allocated, and as I told you at the beginning, there is a lot of distraction. Distraction from the management when the time is not proper, when it's not necessary. Distraction from outside parameters, let's say such some events, some also some requests, let's say from the business. All these things is distraction. And what is really necessary from the individuals that are accountable and responsible, because this is the main things, yes, that are missing in nowadays. So that's why the management does not know how to make things in a good direction, because basically, yes, they build a kindergarten of individuals and they need a teacher which always will guide them and drive them to their purpose. But as you can see here, this is, for example, our individual. Here, this is the manager. Okay, we'll put AM. And when we have a lot of different individuals which are not accountable and responsible, they're always going to the manager. Okay? They're going to the manager asking questions and then they're going back. So the manager is overloaded and also manager lost their trust on the individuals around. Okay? Then they start blah 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 and all the things. People going, people leaving the structures, yes, because they cannot manage by themselves all the things that appear due to lack of interest, yes, due to lack of motivation, mostly, I believe, and due to lack the trust from the management to individuals, and then from individuals to the managers. So they're not open, they're not trust, so there is only connection just for the problem, asking the problem, and there is no real human connection that is required. So that's why, yes, I believe AI will have a much better effect of doing things automated, but it has to be really, really structured and properly structured of what part of the workload the AI will take over, okay? I don't believe that AI, it is something that, excuse me, excuse me, that create a threat for the person. Personally, I do not believe that there is a threat for people, because people, yes, are really clever, are really flexible. Not all of them, but mostly. Maybe I speak for myself. So yes, there is AI. Yes, but it is a tool, as all other the tools that we have. Like the pen, like the board, everything was created by the person to have a specific purpose, okay? And I truly believe that we will overcome that as well too. The most important thing also, it is to simplify things to the level that is really, really simple, okay? And with this way, you will have a much better overview of what to do and when to do it, okay? Simplify the things, structure the things as much as possible, um, create your network to learn what information required in order to resolve the system and keep the system running as proper as required within, let's say, the regulations and the requirements of the company, but always try to be a step ahead or two steps ahead of if what happened, what I will do or how I will respond or what I have in backup in order to keep the um, yes, the business running as proper as possible. Um, as I have started, let's say, the crude washing course through yes, the distribution and receiving the positive feedback, this is the reason why I also decided to create this course with the book and also the online course available on the YouTube. Because I realized that really there is a gap in the industry. Okay, there is a huge gap on the industry, and the gap was there not from the non-accountability, let's say, and the responsibility that the person that had the role, not, it had because of the different view of the things, of how the things are structured. That's why I'm always telling that a captain and a mechanic and a different person with different level of knowledge, with different level of experience, will able to bring the things on another level. And also, yes, the lady that replaced me in my role, I believe, yes, she will deliver something different, okay? We will have different views for sure. We are not operating similarly. We are delivering, yes, things differently, but for sure something new will happen. That's why it's very important that some of the big and major companies, they have internal rotation, okay? Internal rotation to different roles and have also flexibility. In nowadays, most of the companies does not have flexibility also in main major companies. Despite, let's say, that labor market have shifted, it's more difficult, yes, to find talent personnel. It's more difficult to find people that will be committed to the specific role, because also if you will look to the prices for the salaries, it is really, really small salaries to work, let's say, in the office environment, okay, with the knowledge that you have. So basically you can work at sea, you can work on the vessel, you can structure everything there much quicker because yes, you are, let's say, the chief engineer or the second engineer, but better, yes, chief engineer. You can structure the things, you can structure your program because you are the head directly of the department, and the things working as perfect as possible, okay? So it does not require any external confirmation, it does not require any external intervention. So that's why the level of, let's say, distraction should be as low as possible. For sure, it requires some people that have a specific level of knowledge. It not always happen, and they should be responsible, accountable for the things that they are doing, let's say, on board. Only then, by understanding, yes, when building the trust through the, let's say, time frame, for me it's not required. I do not see that I'm required, let's say, to build trust, because I have proved myself through the years, from all the companies that I have worked for. Because yes, what I say exactly, it is what I exactly said. Okay, I'm not hiding by my fingers that most of the people are doing, by telling things behind the backs of others and have knives prepared and stuff on the bag. I'm not that type of person, okay? And that's why I feel also that I do not have to prove anything to other people, okay? Maybe it is, yes, their problem because they do not know me, but also I don't require it from them to know me, okay? So basically, I'm doing what I was, let's say, assigned for, and I really don't care what all the others are doing. Okay, I have my team, my department. We are focused to the results. We are focused to deliver, and we are focused for learning and improving our skills as a team. Okay, which would like to improve and go the things further. I really do not like to lose time. I really do not like to allocate it to things that does not have any sense, okay? And I do not really like to be distracted. Distracted in any way, okay? Because when you know your job, when you're accountable, when you're responsible, the only thing that you need, it is continuous upskilling and educational support through the years that you're working in the organization. But as we have seen, this is the biggest lack of the organizations. Because yes, they have the requirements, they have the specific, let's say, um, rules and all that things, but what they have failed to deliver and create individuals that are driven from the motivation of the management in order to reach that point. What is happening now? Yes, there is requirements from, let's say, the system and the organizations. Here, let's say this is the goal, this is the level of what you need to reach and achieve. This is the level, you are here, but basically no one is together with you to reach this level. There's really, really few people that are really help you to reach this level. Most of the people, what they will say, and from management, yes, we need this level, but how you will get there, we do not care. So basically, directly, it is already a disengagement from the management and individuals. So there is disconnection, there is no trust between them, because yes, when you have the individuals, you always tell them, yes, what I have to do, I have to learn this and these things. But if you do not participate in anything, you do not do any meetings, you do not do any upskilling, any things, what is your requirement? So basically people, yes, start to fade away and completely disconnect. In these environments here, which is the most common environments that you have seen, also, yes, by asking the management, asking the permission, there is no development and there is no business opportunities that being created. And also it creates a fear environment, and people slowly disconnect it and change different departments, or maybe they resign as well. So yes, this is normal in cooperative world. People go, people come. Yes, it's nothing, let's say, unusual. And also, yes, I have learned myself and trained myself to not, let's say, really connect to a team. So basically, yes, do the job. That is it, as it is. Can we do something? No, just leave it. That's all. You do not have to push the things more than it requires. And for the reason why, I will explain it's very, very shortly. because always you have selection with the knowledge and the things that you have built through the time. So you have the point A and you have, this is the point A and you have the point B. Okay, you are here. And you are pushing to point A, which is, let's say you think it is the best case, is the best thing that you are imagining. Let's say, yes, I need to go there, but it's not happening. It's not happening because, yes, of various parameters. And the B, it is very easy accessible. You can go straight there. And basically, this happens because here the individuals does not fit with your resonance and your frequency, how you operate. They are not able to understand you. It is not your fault, it is their fault because they are not able to understand the way how you are functioning. And there is individuals here that are understanding, have the similar behavior, have the similar interest. They are accountable, they're responsible, and they know what to do without asking the main player, let's say, which is the manager here, which creates this barrier there, here, okay? And the people, yes, that are not able to understand you. The one, it's very quick. You're exactly in the frequency. They know exactly what you have said. They understand you. So the connection is really quick. And this is where you should find your way for, by avoiding this barrier here and going to another way. I still ask myself, and many times in the things, yes, in the daily life that I'm doing, I see some things, yes, are not moving, I'm waiting. They became also really frustrating, yes, because they are not accomplished. And I'm personally, yes, that I'm really like to accomplish the things really quick as much as possible, because, yes, I have the accountability and the responsibility. But when I see that the things are not going this way, I start to think differently how I can avoid this task completely, and I go directly to the B point here. What I should do to go to the B point, okay? Similar, both of them will have success, okay? But okay, the difference of success will be different, for sure. But at least you have some progress, you have some movement, and you have some direction already, okay? The things not always go to your favor. That's why by building the mindset, the learning mindset of why the things are working this and how we can do it differently, then you are able to quickly shift from A to B without losing time and without being so much frustrated. What selections I have, what is the assets that I have, what is the knowledge that I have in order to bring me to the B. Here we have a barrier, yes. It is a wall, 5,000 meters, let's say. You are not able to break it. And the more faster you convince yourself that this wall is unbreakable, the faster you will reach the B without losing time going to A. Maybe, yes, we will find some way to break, let's say, the wall. Yes, this is also possible. I am not saying that it's not possible. Maybe you will trigger some things from the person and learn what they are willing to do. Okay, but then you have to find and learn the character of the person in order to unlock all that potential. But basically, if you do so much, yes, if you unlock all the things and you trying to please that person, yes, with some specific way that he likes, because yes, that this is what he learned through the years, maybe you will find a way, yes, how to unlock that potential as well. Okay. So Preserving life, create opportunities, and then create the progress. But as we are lifting from low level to high level, we have to guide our personal. Okay, we just not say them, okay, you should be ready, you should know these things, and you will give, let's say, some exams by only, and you have this time frame. No, it's not working this way, because the business it's having requests from all these individuals around. There's a lot of questions daily coming. Maybe there's 20, 15 questions. Maybe it's also questions related with the projects that are running completely to improve the things. I remember myself, yes, in the oil major that I was working, I have different kind of projects, okay? I have to deal with the dewatering project, with restructuring of the process, reviewing the process, which was done, let's say, continuously. I have questions from the industry, from the crude oil coming each and every day. I had also questions that are coming from the clearances of the vessels to check how the vessel has been integrated. And also I had a duty every week. And also, yes, I have multiple questions coming through the day, through the emails from the department that I was working with as well, from different managers sometimes, which personally I do not like that, because yes, it overload my already, let's say, load schedule. So I have terminal checks, I have vessel visits as well, the meetings as well, a lot of online meetings, which was also with the crude oil loss meeting, participations also on, let's say, worldwide network of the loss control. Does this all the meetings, let's say, improve the knowledge? Some of them not. Was not just, let's say, informative, okay, enough. Some of them, yes, was informative, but some of them really, I can tell that I was not able to understand a thing about that, because simply the people start to talking about things and I didn't know what they're talking about, because it was completely another way of, let's say, of structuring, another way of operation, another way of things that are allocated. So, and then I realized, yes, we have to be really simple of how we express the things and how we present the things. That's why I created the crude oil washing masterclass course. The book itself, it's very easy to read, very accessible, and I understand that, yes, how I'm able to build, let's say, a course, and also how am I able to build a book in order for the people to understand it as much as possible easier without having that specific knowledge. And I'm always, yes, thinking about that, okay, yes, this person presents the things, but they never ask anyone in the meeting, do you really understand of what I'm presenting? Because you can see a lot of people talking 30 minutes, 40 minutes, blah, 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 describing a lot of things. But what is the meaning from that thing? What is the goal, okay, of that presentation? It should be short, really accessible, really fast, with not that much details. We do not have to know all the details. We have to know the A, the B, the C, the D structure, and what is the main goal from that. Because yes, the details, they can go a lot, and I can say one of the projects that I have worked, and I believe, yes, this is one of the projects that I have really created with the help of some individuals while working. It was so much fantastic and had so much details, and the details increased through the time, because yes, I started searching more, I started questioning more, to the point where it was so much developed that I have find and verified all the reasons of why the things are happening with the crude oil, and I said, okay, this is time, it is enough to develop it further. Because when you're working on something, when you are working on the project, when you are working to something, yes, you have spent some specific time, and always the time that is spent, it should be specific in order does not overcome so much, and you are still able to deliver what your role requires. You say, okay, that is enough, we will take it from the steps, we will do these investments, and we will have this return of investment, which still we have to measure through this specific time frame, okay? Starting, let's say, analyzing samples, make the test, make the comparison of that specific grade and that specific discharges, and then see the benefits on the paper. On the paper, and identify the earnings. But you know, all the projects that I have worked, all the things that I have designed, they have a huge return of investment really, really quick. Because first of all the problems that I try to identify and address, it is the one that has the biggest effect on the product or on the operation itself. Okay, this is where I start from, identifying the highest impact in the overall, let's say, operation or in overall product. Okay, this is where is the starting point. Yes, there is losses. Yes, there is, let's say, problems within the operations, within the environments and all the things, but not all of them has the same impact. Okay, some of them can have 1%, some of them can have 20%, some of them can have even 50 to 60% effect. And the more better we understand them, the better we are able to design the things and new products that are fit for purpose. The second thing also, which is highly recommended and highly appreciated by the business, is by reducing the risks. The risks in the overall operation itself. So in one of the projects that I have been work, we have reduced the risks, we have reduced the time by a lot, by really a lot, for the dewatering operation. So instead to use another, let's say, party, we had everything in place with the barges, yes, that have served us. Okay, so yes, there was quite a lot of things, there was quite a lot of reforming, but how the things later on set up itself, it was really, really fantastic. And it really shows the high level of efficiency and operational readiness through all the stages, through the planning, to the design, and then to the execution, okay, of the project. That's why also, since I've created, let's say, the MOC, the Marine Optimization Consultancy, which is, yes, mostly allocated here, membership and MOC talks, my thought was, yes, these three words, three main words for the development of the businesses, which is design, apply, and thrive. This is the three words that I have worked for, because yes, the design, it has a huge role, how the things are functioning, how they are structured, the framework. The application, which is applying things in the real world, not just in theory. And the thrive, because yes, through the proper application and the design, this will bring you the competitive edge that is required over all the rest of the companies. Because when you're doing some things better than the others, and let's say here that, for example, a company A is doing, let's say, that specific operation in 10 hours, okay? So how many vessels you have per year? Okay, let's say 200 vessels, okay? Just from one thing, just the improvement of one process, let's say, which is dewatering, which now it is 2000 hours, okay, which it gives 2000 hours, okay, total, the company A. And the company B, which is doing in 5 hours, same 200 vessels, which will take 1000 hours, okay. So you can see the difference. You can see the difference, and what I'm telling you about, that is 50% difference in some cases. And it is true. It is true that it is happening, but not always everybody is able to identify that things. Okay. This is a, let's say, a example. Okay. Maybe yes, the numbers here, mostly for the vessels, will not be reflected directly, but it directly reflects the time saved from 10 hours to 5 hours. Okay, it is so much, let's say, important. It's so much important, and let's say through the years, it has a really long effect for the future. That this is the difference. This difference, you are not able to see it by your eyes, like, okay, like an investor. You are not able to feel it. You are not able to identify it as a shareholder price, okay, or as a share buyer. You are not able to see that things. You see the biggest picture, let's say, the results. You see the biggest picture because, yes, you're an investor, and what you see is just a tiny fraction of the things. So what you will be aimed for, it is the deliverables. It's a very important thing. So one important thing is, in order to trust a company, is what the company has set, which is the goal, and what have succeeded. Okay, which one succeeded? From what is saying the company and what has been succeeded. If you have seen that, let's say, the deliverables has been, let's say, planned for 2022, and we have now 2025, so there is 3 years gap in between here. That means that this cannot be succeeded. And from there you see the overall direction of the company, of how the company is doing well, how it performed, and where it will be driving in the future. Okay, this is a really fast way how to identify the things in order to see how they are functioning properly. So all the things shows an internal problem that are happening on board. Maybe it's restructuring, maybe it is, let's say, reduction, maybe it's portfolio diversification. But for surely, this does not bring value because, let's say, some things that has to be delivered and has been planned are not planned anymore. So there is a drag back again. And that means that there is not proper design phase at the beginning. There is not proper business case at the beginning here, in the first stage. How we will do that? how much money we'll spend. Do we have the knowledge to do that? And how much actual time will need it? What we need to do, how we need to spend, what challenges may we face, because most of the companies does not have the technology internally to develop that things. So it's not always to be good in the first movement on that, and even not in the second or in the third movement, because simply you do not have the knowledge. And the more you underestimate or no overestimate your power, the more of these mistakes you will be making. Most of the businesses, yes, overestimate their goals. Okay, most of the businesses are overestimating their power due to looking to the assets. Yes, we have these billions and we have all that, let's say, things in place. Yes, we can buy these, but then they are coming to the date and it's not delivered, and they actually understand that they are not even to build with the billions. So that's why I'm always saying, by having billions, yes, you can build things, but then how many billions you will spend in order to accomplish that thing? Okay, so the level of investment and the return of investment will be really huge between them. And this shows, yes, a really low level of effectiveness in the company internally. Okay, and lack of as well to say things differently. Okay, this shows the entire culture of the company. When the things go wrong, nobody speaks, everything is fine. Yes, we continue this way, but when we are arriving to the dates that we have to deliver, there is no deliverables. And this is a huge issue with the cultural behavior internally in the company. And for sure, it is need restructuring, not on the people, but on the management and the CEO levels. This is a really concerning thing. Because when you see people that are in position for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, that is really concerning. Or they're damn good, let's say, to pleasing the system exactly how it is required. And when you're pleasing the system, yes, you can avoid the traps of the system. Basically, you are walking on the steps of the system just enough to keep the things running for your paycheck. But actually, there is no development. There is no real development for the business. And that's why you can see that all of the cooperative worlds and businesses does not create value. So their value are going down and down, or maybe it's steady. And the only thing that you see some peaks, it's only in the events when it is demand of their product. Such events, let's say, such COVID, such events like wars and all the things where the prices and the demand increases the, let's say, shareholder price, because yes, there is demand, but there is no something outside of there that actually driving the value. In order to driving the value, the real value in the progress, you have to create things, you have the ability to create new opportunities and do the things better than the others are doing. This is the only way to create value. To offer products that nobody else has and you having them and you do it the best way. This is what I have learned for. That's why I have created the best training material available on the entire internet. And I'm 100% sure that the deliverables are starting from the first minute that you are allocated on specific videos and training materials that I have created, which is the Boiler Advanced course, which is Purifier Advanced course, Crudo Washing Masterclass course, Bunkering Optimization project, Sludge Optimization project, simulation bundles with more than 100 different simulations, and also a lot of technical videos which will help you from the beginning till the chief engineer level, from the management, from the understanding the technical stuff that is required in order to run a vessel without any problems and without any alarms, and reduce your workload to minimum by doing the things properly and following the things for exact and specific reasons. That is it, my dear friends. Thank you that you have joined today that interesting video, which I explain a lot of things about how the businesses are operating and how they should be operating, about the things, the distractions, the material, the functions, the efficiency, the ways how to reach the things, and how the things needs to be structured a little bit different in order to bring that opportunities and new business developments. Thank you very much, and see you at MOC Talks or at MOC Membership. It is your selection. We will be for sure connected with more interesting videos for the marine and business world. From Michael, see you next time. Bye bye.